Welcome to Working Help Desk with Irvin, also known as Kuboman. This is a pinnacle of this series. This is number 30 video in the series. I can't believe I've done so many. And for those reasons, we're going to complete all the tickets that are in the system. I think we have about 10 tickets to work, so let's get to it because there's a lot to cover. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Irvin, also known as Kuboman. We're going to continue working help desk tickets. Well, at least we're going to continue for now because in the last video, it really, not just in the last video, but in the video before that as well, when it comes to help desk type of videos, seems like people are getting burned out or just there isn't enough interest. And I'm simply basing this off of how many views, how many interactions, meaning how many people are clicking like or leaving a comment, which is perfectly fine. This video is number 30 in the series, so it kind of makes sense that people are getting burnt out. So chances are this might be the last video in the series. I don't know. It just depends. But it kind of looks like it might be. For those reasons, I'm going to try to do as many as I can of the tickets that we have in the system, and that's just that. If you want me to keep making them, let me know in the comments. Okay, so let's see. We got a notification from somebody. Looks like we got a notification from Brody 2 days ago about wireless mouse and keyboard. This is on the last video that we talked about. We talked about this. It was an issue with losing connection. And Brody responded. Thank you for the response, Brody. And he said it ended being interference issue between dongle and the Nook itself. I have a USB extender between the two now and everything is working fine. Yeah, I kind of suspected it was some kind of interference. So the dongle, he probably means the adapter for the wireless signal and the Nook itself. So the Nook, the Nook itself probably has some kind of radio frequency interference that is causing the problem. It could be something else too. So just to keep that in mind. And now he's just using a USB extender, so it's a direct connection. Everything's working fine. Okay, thank you for the response. I appreciate it. And looks like I got another response from Dean. Thank you for the response. This was related to the laptop's microphone issue. I suggested that make sure that he's using the correct microphone input device. And he responded, hi, I can't find the video. Can I have the link, please? This was youtube.com, not the last video, but the one before that. So if you happen to miss my videos and wanting to look for a specific topic, then just look at literally the thumbnail. And this was number 28. You can see here, well, you know, right here number 28, and that it says laptop microphone issue. So if you go to youtube.com/Kuboman, then you will get to this number 28 and click on that one. So I'm gonna share it and I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm going to reply to customer. Here is the link. I have it labeled somewhere on the thumbnail. Let me go back to this. I do want to point this out. If you're watching this video, chances are it's going to be a long video because chances are it's going to be a last video. But if you open up my videos, you can see that I have everything labeled in the timeline, right? So here it is. Laptop microphone not working when recording screen. All right, so I'm going to select that. It's paused. I'm going to share it, and I'm going to select start at that time. So that way Dean can check it out. But yeah, all the topics are listed there. Okay. All right, so let's go to queues and then unassigned tickets. Is a ticket from Ryu Thao. Thank you very much for submitting a ticket. I know this is your second time, I want to say, submitting a ticket, and I appreciate it. It means a lot. Excel unable to open. A user has a large Excel spreadsheet. When they try to open it, it was asking to open an Excel 64-bit. That's unusual. How can it
how can he open the sheet in the 32-bit instead of having to break the sheet down to smaller sizes? Okay, so I'm assuming the message is I can't open this up because it's too big and it's asking for a 64-bit. I've never seen this before. Usually these type of limitations are done on whenever you format a thumb drive. You format a thumb drive, for example, here's my PC, right? And let's assume this is the thumb drive. If I format it to FAT32, there's a limit of the size of each file. I forget exactly what the limit is, maybe 2 gigabytes per each file. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to store or even create new files that are bigger than that. But I'm going to say this: reply to customer, hello, please try to open in 64-bit Excel. You can, and I hope, and I think it's there. You can navigate to see program files / office and use the 64-bit exe. I hope that works, because I don't know why this wouldn't work to begin with. It's really odd. But what I'm trying to say here is the C program files, just regular C program files, house the 64-bit applications. So if you open up your C drive, this is going to have 64-bit applications. 32-bit applications are going to be inside of program files x86. Make sure you navigate to the correct folder for the Office suite. Okay, so we got a ticket from Julie Chan. Thank you again, Julie, for submitting ticket. I'm saying again because you've submitted tickets for me before, and I appreciate it. Outlook issue, dear Koboman. Please, my Outlook is always showing a reminder for past events, so I try to stop it by going to File, Option, Advance. But that automatically dismisses reminder for past event. Option is not showing. How can I stop this, please? Well, you have to remove the reminder, and that's usually found inside the calendar. Here it is. So if you open up your calendar, just go in there and right-click it and delete it. And it's going to ask you whether you want to delete all of them, because if it's a repeating reminder, then you can just delete the whole series. And that's how you do it. It's most likely what the cause is. Hello. You can go to the calendar and delete the reminder. It's most likely coming from there. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I want to show you something real quick. You know how you get computer reminders? They're all tied. All these come through the system itself. You see how I have notifications here on the right? You know, there's one notification right here. It says reconnect your drive, your file history. Well, make sure you check these first, just to make sure that they are not some kind of different notifications. I'm going to say, I'm going to edit this just in case. Just double check the reminder descriptions. Just double check the system reminder descriptions on the right to make sure it's not something else sending you reminders. Okay, that should do it. Close. Closing all of these. Here's a ticket from Cool Dude. We got some screenshots, which is cool. Outlook add-in disabled. Thank you, Cool Dude, for submitting this ticket. Hi, the add team links button on my meeting invite in Outlook is gone. Is there a way to bring it back? I think I've had this ticket before, like early on, like one of the early videos. The only way for me to solve it is to manually enable it and select it again in the COM add-ins. I was wondering if anyone else is having this issue, if there is a way to solve this. I do not want to continue to have to go through the process just to be able to have team meetings option when I send invites. Yeah, there's something wrong with this. You're not the first one, because like I said, there's somebody else having this issue. I would, yeah, look at this. Microsoft Azure Information Protection, disabled items. This item listed below are disabled because they prevented Outlook from functioning correctly, or your system administrator has disabled them through the group policy. That's not what happened. System admin didn't, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to re-enable it. Please note that you may have to restart Outlook. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So here's the add-in, and it's kind of blurry, but I appreciate the screenshots. Add-in Teams, add-in Fast Connect, Microsoft Teams. And it's this DLL. So what I would do is actually make sure that this DLL is being replaced. I mean, meaning that it's reinstalled. So you could try to reinstall Outlook, but this DLL still may remain. And this add-in loader.dll probably remains somewhere in System32. So if you go to C, System32, Windows System32, this is where all registry files are for 64-bit applications, and this one happens to be in the System32 most likely. It doesn't say, but it might be in syswow, which is for 32-bit. Here's syswow or System32. It's most likely in System32. And look for it. So just do a search or scroll down, I don't know, whatever is easier for you. And this one's called add-in loader. Add-in loader. Add-in loader.dll. It's not gonna find it for me here because I don't have Outlook installed. The regular Outlook installed. So look for it, and when you find it, delete it. And the reason I'm saying delete it, but make sure you have a backup of it. Same thing for the first ticket about Excel. I forget to mention. Before you try to open it with a 64-bit Excel, please try to make a backup of it, just in case, so you don't break it, of that Excel file. Make sure there's a backup. I hope you didn't go away. If you watch this part of it and then like, okay, I'm going to go fix that, I hope you're still watching. System32. So again, it might be in System32 or syswow 64. I guess technically could be somewhere else, but chances are all the DLLs are in the System32 folder or syswow 64 folder. Go in there and delete it, so that way you can get a fresh install of it. And this is just a, yeah, here's the notification. Outlook disabled, add-in for Microsoft Teams, add-in and Microsoft Office. So go in and remove this first. Remove the add-in first. Go in and remove it. And then go and delete that DLL. Because when you reinstall it, it should be able to push the newer version of DLL, if there is a newer version of DLL. And then last thing you could do is try to repair Outlook. And yeah, that's pretty much all you can do here. And here's yeah, it's the same one we looked at. Okay, so I'm going to say hello, cool dude, because I've never talked to him before. You can delete the add-in and then make sure that what's it called, add-in loader.dll is deleted from system 32. I was going to say or, but and system or syswow 64 folder. Then reinstall the add-in. If that does not work, repair Outlook. You may need to, I was going to say you can go in and repair or recreate the new local profile for the email, but I don't think that's the cause. I mean, there's off chance that it could be, which is located, the mail folder is located in the control panel. Inside of here, you'll have a folder called mail. When you go in, you can recreate the new mail profile. So I'm going to close this, move on. All right, from MD Alam, thank you, MD Alam. You've submitted a lot of tickets for me. I appreciate it, buddy. Edited by Nuance PDF file is not opening with Adobe Acrobat DC. All other PDF files open with Adobe Acrobat DC. Two PDF files is not opening with Acrobat DC who are edited by Nuance. Okay, those two PDF files do open with Nuance. Oh, okay. Well, I see what you're saying. Why is it not opening with Acrobat DC? Error said there was a problem reading the document. Well, it's simple actually. So the issue here is, hello. The issue is most likely related to file format. I was going to say encoding, but it's not. File format compatibility. So I'm going to say this too. When you save the edited PDF, make sure it's saved with compatible file format that works with Adobe DC Reader. That's the only thing that it can be. That's the only thing that it can be. You're editing it and you're able to edit it and save it, but you can't open it in Adobe Acrobat DC. But then you have some other files and that were edited by Nuance, and they open file with Nuance. They open up file fine with Nuance. Of course, because you've saved it in a file format that is compatible with Nuance. So whenever you export it and whenever you edited it and it's not saved in a compatible file format for Adobe DC Reader, it's simply not compatible. If this issue persists and you don't know how to do it, I mean, I don't know how to do it for you. Usually is whenever you save something. Here is just a Word document. Word, and let's say I just type in stuff. You can go File, and then Save As, and then you can select different format. So make sure you select the correct format that is compatible with Adobe DC. Adobe Acrobat DC. I hope that helps. Okay, unassigned computer logout for Nam George. Thank you for submitting your ticket. I appreciate it. My computer logs out every 3 minutes, and I have to put in the password all the time for it to stay on. So I can't do anything even while I'm working on it. It still logs me out, and I have to put the password in. Oh wow! So it logs you out while you're using it? What? That is weird. You know that the first thing that comes to mind is updates. Either updates or somebody is doing it on purpose. So I don't know if this is your personal computer or not, or if it's a work computer, but people can actually kick you out of the computer if they are trying to remotely access your computer. But the first thing is, if you're trying to finish an update, trying to reinstall an update, go to Windows Updates and see if there's anything pending in the background that requires a reboot, which would sign you out. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is somebody else is using remote desktop and is trying to access your computer. Let's say your name of your computer is Nom's computer, and they try to connect to it, right? They connect, they're gonna get a pop-up. They're gonna get a pop-up that is going to, you know, whenever they're trying to log in, they're gonna say, it's gonna say somebody else is using this computer. Do you still want to proceed with the login? And if they say okay, then, you know, they might log you out. They might kick you out. So, and what happens is within that minute, they can actually log in as well and not actually completely log you out. They just kind of lock you out. Lock you out as in, it looks like it logs you out, but it's not completely logged out, because you can have multiple people using the same computer without completely, you know, removing everything. So if I was to like go here and I switch users, like for example, well, it's not, here it is. Change account, it's not here, but you can switch users and somebody else can log in. I don't know why it's not showing up now, but you can have multiple people with their saved stuff in it. So I can leave it here and somebody else can sit down and log in, and when I come back, it's going to stay here. It's going to stay at this point. So that's what's kind of happening. Well, this is what it could be happening. So, or there's some kind of program that's keeping you out, or you may have a virus. I don't know. But I don't think you have a virus. Chances are. I'm going to say hello. My name is Irvin with PC support. I have your ticket about logout. This could be caused by Windows updates or someone else trying to access your computer. I haven't heard of any other situations where this might be happening, where you are being logged out while you're using the computer. And you know, if you come across an issue like this in the future, not just you, but like anybody who does tech support, it's okay to Google this, because chances are this has happened to somebody at some point on the internet. There is nothing wrong with that. I simply don't have time to do this right now, but this is the knowledge I have, common knowledge that I have when it comes to situations like this. This is the first thing that comes to my mind based off my experience, and I'm trying to go really fast here just to knock this out. Another ticket from AD Alam. AD account is getting locked repeatedly. That means Active Directory, for people who don't know, you know, people, your login information is. My AD account is going to be locked out when I stop using computer for 15 to 30 minutes. It's kind of similar to this, isn't it? But it's not. This is completely being locked out where you can't log in at all. I did not get any password reset notifications. I haven't changed my password for more than a year. I haven't changed my password for more than a year. Well, that's telling right there. I removed stored web and Windows credentials, remove all the network drives. I'm using Business Outlook and Team on my personal cell phone. Log out and log back in. Team, OneDrive, SAP, portal multiple times in my laptop and cell phone. I don't use any other device. What is the solution? So, well, the kind of key is that you haven't changed your password for more than a year. Now, I'm assuming here this is for a business account at your work, right? It says your Active Directory. The chances are, well, there are a couple of reasons. Usually, for example, the company I work for, you have to change your password every 90 days. If you haven't changed your password for more than a year, maybe the password expired and this will lock you out. You know, and you can go back in, unlock yourself, but your password still hasn't been changed, right? And they say, I did not get any password reset notifications. I would go in and change your password and make sure that, well, you said that nobody else is using. I don't use any other devices, but if you do use other devices, you have to go back in and update with a new password. That's what I would do for sure. That's what I would do for sure. Another issue is this could happen in a business environment where somebody has access to your login ID. Login ID. So let's say my login ID is, I don't know, what am I going to do? Let's see, I'm going to use a notepad. Let's see, login. My login ID is, and let's use you for example, MD Alam. Okay, so I use this to log into other computers, to other computers and my computer, anybody else. If somebody knows your login ID, they can go to a computer on the same network and use it to try to log into your account. And if they try to more than 3 times, you're going to get locked out. So they would go in to a different computer and say MD Alam. Nope, didn't work. MD Alam. Nope, didn't work. MD Alam. Didn't work. MD Alam. Didn't work. Now you are locked out because there's a limit of how many times you can try to log in with the wrong password. Again, this might be somebody else doing this. And just so you guys know, when you're doing tech support and you get this type of issue where somebody's getting locked out and you can't explain it, chances are somebody else is doing that. And I've actually had a situation where we had 2 people with the same name, but they were using the same login. Well, there was a second login for the other person with the same name, but they happened to be, for example, location in St. Louis, and the other person was in Florida, in Lakeland. And they were using same login, and they kept locking each other out because they kept changing the password, this and that. So these are some of the things you should think about and consider. You could be getting locked out if you have a Windows credential or any other credential manager that has your old password that you automatically run to use the same login and password. They use the same domain, same Active Directory login to log into other websites. And if they're using the old password, same thing is going to happen. It's going to be the repeat of this if it's the wrong password. However, I suggest you change your password because typically they expire at some point. Make sure the new password is being used by the credential manager. I still didn't spell it correctly. I tried. It was close. Not really. There is a small chance that someone else is using your login ID and failing to log in, which would lock the account. I hope that helps. Well, more tickets from MD Alam, that's okay. I'm just going to keep going until I'm done with all of these. Dell 542 laptop is not deleting external monitors via docking station. Is not deleting? The laptop is not deleting external monitors. You mean detecting? Maybe? I don't know. My laptop is not connecting docking station. I tried with multiple docking stations, but it doesn't work. What's the solution? My laptop is not connecting. I don't understand what you're asking here. It says laptop is not deleting external monitors, so maybe detecting external monitors via docking station. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But now you're saying my laptop is not connecting station. But then you tried multiple docking stations, but that doesn't work. Well, but there's something wrong with the laptop then. I mean, if you know the monitors are working, then there's something wrong with the laptops or the cables. There's nothing else that could be. I'm going to say this usually means that there is something wrong with the laptop, and it could be the display drivers. So make sure you get updated video or display adapter drivers and try again. Otherwise, it's something physical. And what did I say? I mean, of course, check the cables and power. 2 monitors and a laptop. Docking station. Okie dokie. Moving on. A ticket from MD Alarm again. The main computer is going to lock out. The main is within few minutes in activity. So this is the same ticket we just talked about. This is business computer is going to lock out within few minutes of an activity. Yeah, this is the same ticket that I talked about your computer, your login and lockout. Okay, I'm going to say please refer to other ticket about computer lockout. Okay. All right, this is from AP. Thank you for submitting a ticket. Wi-Fi network randomly disconnects and reconnects multiple times a day. Wi-Fi network keeps disconnecting and reconnecting randomly throughout the day. All-in-one modem router is being used, and up to 20 to 25 are using a gigabit connection. That's a lot of people, including a video security system. Issues occurs for all devices. ISP tried to fix the issue but could not fix the issue. So you got lots of people trying to connect to this. First thing first, I mean, do a bandwidth test just to make sure that that is taken care of. That means that's straightened out. That's your first step. Well, I'm going to list what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I think it is. Hello, this is Irvin with PC support. You're thinking about Wi-Fi issue. Please follow below steps. 1. Test. I'm gonna put this in 1. Test signal strength and bandwidth. Bandwidth. That's number 1. Number 2. Make sure there is no limit of how many people can connect to the router. So you can have a limit of how many people can connect. I showed this before. I really don't have time to get into it right now, but you can go to a website, and I have go to my channel, and I know this is not me just trying to not talk about this. I'm going to talk about it, but I have a video that talks about it in detail. Go to my channel and kind of browse through these help desk tickets, and or just do a search on how to set up Wi-Fi network so that there is enough IP addresses allowed to connect. So if you got 20 to 25 people, 20 to 25 people connecting, the router may have a limit of how many people can connect. This is related to IP address. This is related to how many IP addresses a router can or is allowed to handle. So log in to into your router. So I'm assuming this is one of those ISP routers, modems all in one. Okay, this is probably one of those things, and it sounds like you have a small office, relatively small. I mean, 20 to 25 devices. Still could be an office with like 15 people, and if all those people are also connecting their phones to Wi-Fi, you know, this and that, then you know you can run out of these IP addresses. So go in, and there is a setting inside of it. This is web-based, so it's usually like, I don't know, 192.168.1. Anyways, you can figure out the IP address, which should be the same as your gateway. So if you go command line and go to type in IP config/all, and if you look at, see, I'm connected with the Wi-Fi, and look at where the DHCP server is. Okay, and then type that in. Watch. Control C, type that in. It's going to take you to the login. You see, right away, I have ATT. Okay, so there you go. Go in here and go to, I don't know, home network. I haven't done it on this one here, but look for network settings and look for how many people are allowed to connect to Wi-Fi. It's probably going to be in the Wi-Fi settings. Wi-Fi settings. Whatever, it's in here somewhere. So it's in Wi-Fi settings. I don't mess with this one here too much. So anyways, it's going to be inside of Wi-Fi settings and how many people are allowed to connect to it. Let's see, 3. Number 3 could be that it could be that the router is not able to handle too many connections. And this is possible, okay? This is possible because router can start to heat up when it has a lot of connections to it. The router itself is a computer too. So if you push it to the max, there's an off chance. There is an off chance that it's overheating. Okay, number 4, possibly get a dedicated Wi-Fi router and use that instead. And I'm saying this I hope that helps. I'm saying this because, you know, these modems and these routers that you get from ISP, Internet Service Provider, they may not be that good of a quality. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm guessing here. So these are some of the things that will possibly get you into the right answer. All right, moving on. My wireless mouse is not working. My wireless USB mouse is plugged in, but somehow is not working, not responding every time I move the mouse. So this could be another interference with something else, but I'm going to say hello. Thank you, Q Mayo 28. Thank you for submitting tickets. Hello. This is Irvin with PC support. I have your ticket about Mouse not working. So, yeah, let's do this. This could be, I mean, you know what? Let's do this. Hopefully you watch my video. Let's do this. Let's just do this because this is more likely if it's not working at all, not responding every time I move the mouse. USB mouse is plugged in, but somehow it's not working. Okay. Here's what usually happens with these mices and wireless keyboards. Aside from, you know, being far away and there's some kind of radio frequency interference, there is a chance that battery is weak, or how should I say this? The battery compartment, not compartment, what do you call battery connections are dirty. Yeah, or the battery connections there, because I've seen this somehow where they lose connection. So you have to kind of roll, because usually they take either AAA batteries or AA batteries, and they sometimes lose connection in there. They're inside and they're losing. They get dirty inside. So I'm going to say, yeah, check to make sure this is okay. Because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It makes me think that it's either weak battery. Because that's what started happening. You start a weak battery, and yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. And one more ticket. Last ticket in the ticketing system, guys. This is very important to know, because obviously I cannot work any more of these videos unless there are tickets submitted. I will put a ticket link in the first comment to this system where you can submit tickets. I'm going to wait 1 week and see what happens. If there are less than like, if there has to be at least 5 tickets submitted in there. If there are not 5 tickets in there, then I don't know when the next time I'm going to, or if I'm ever going to make any more of these. I probably will, but it may not be until like months and months later. So again, I've stated these reasons why. I'm just being honest here. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to something else. Updating my password manager from Michael. Thank you, Michael. Hello. I have a question regarding my Bitwarden password manager on my laptop. So that's another password manager. I've never heard of it, but it doesn't matter. They all should function kind of similarly. It's running Windows 11 Home Edition. Oh, you've lost me there, buddy. I haven't used Windows 11 yet, but that's okay. I'm going to use my knowledge and personal experience and try to help you as much as I can. And that's all you can do as tech support. When the apps open, and when the app opens up to its login screen, I constantly get a message to update it to the latest version. Well, here's an example of Windows 11 being too early to use Windows 11. No offense, Michael, I'm just saying. This is why I haven't installed it on my computer, nor is my company, nor is a lot of companies, nor are a lot of companies using Windows 11 yet. After updating, the message still pops up for information for me. It's time to update again. You know, it's failing to update to the current version. That's okay. I will show you how to do a clean install. And when trying to figure out what the problem is, I opened the Windows App Store to check for updates there. Oh, here we go. See, this is, I suspect that it is because the Windows App Store is notorious for failing not to, install and update things properly. That's when I realized there are 2 versions of there it is. Bitwarden on my laptop. Here's what I found. Here's version 1, 1.3, 31.3. I'm just going to say that. And version 33. One is 64-bit and looks like the other one is 32-bit. Could you give me an insight of what possibly happened and what is potential security risk I have opened, I've been open to, if any? Well, you kind of take a chance when it comes to risk, and you're installing third-party software and apps. You kind of take a chance every time you do that, especially when you install something on your computer. And in order to install it, chances are you have to give it administrator privileges. Now, this is on Microsoft Windows App Store, right? This is on there. So you would assume that it's safe. So I wouldn't worry about security too much. However, there are two versions, and that's another story. What we need to do is do a clean install so you can update this properly. Here it is. Restart to update. Version 1.33 is ready to install. You must restart the applications. Here's what I'm going to do, tell you. Go in, and I'm going to go to add remove programs, but go to Windows first. Windows, here it is, store. And I don't know if mine is enabled. I don't like to use this for those reasons because I don't, it's not good in my opinion. In my humble opinion, it's not good. It's not going to work for me because, well, maybe it is. So go in here, and this thing is called, what's it called again? Bitwarden. 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 So you can see that this was created by somebody else, not by Microsoft, right? And here it is. This app does not currently support Windows 10 S. I don't know what the hell that means. What is Windows 10 S? So chances are it doesn't support Windows 11 either. But here is Bitwarden, and it's created by 8-Bit Solutions LLC. That's not Microsoft Windows. And it's okay if you use it before, probably, and you know, this is that. I'm not knocking you, I'm not making fun of you or anything like that, but this is how you do a clean install. Go in here, and the one that you have selected to install, make sure you deselect it and remove it. Okay, make sure this, and then it should uninstall, but if not, go to add remove software, and in here, look for it, Bitwarden. It's not on here, but once you find it on here, make sure you uninstall it. Okay, and then look for traces of where it has gone. Usually you would find traces of software installed in System 30 in program files. So look for Bitwarden in here in program files or System 32. And depending which one you have, I think you said you have the first one, which is the 64-bit, right? If you have the 64-bit one, okay, so whichever you have, if you have this first one, the first one is 64-bit, then it's going to be in regular program files, which is the first one. If you have the 32-bit, it's going to be in this one. Okay, you can have traces left of this program in program data. Look for it in there. If you find it after you uninstall it, after you delete it, after you remove it, there's a chance there's going to be a folder left there. Delete it. Microsoft does store apps in a specific location as well, and I forget exactly what that is. I think it's in program data, but it's probably going to be under users. Here's the one I'm logged in as. So go to your local profile. Say mine is users Koboman, so whatever yours is, so users whatever yours is, and then go to app data, local, and here it is, Microsoft. I'm pretty sure it's in here where it installs. Here it is, Windows Apps. Yeah, so kind of look in here, find it, and delete it. Look for any traces of it. The reason I'm doing this is because chances are it's failing to update because there is a corrupted version of something that it cannot overwrite, usually related to administrative privileges or elevated privileges that will allow you to install and make modifications to your profile. Now, if it's under your local profile that you already logged in, it's not going to be an issue because it's not going to ask you for admin to install anything under your local profile. However, it's if it's installed in either of these two, then it's going to need admin privileges. Okay. After you do that, after you delete any traces of it that you find, go to the internet and find the correct version and download it from there. Bitwarden. Bitwarden. Make sure it's the same one. I don't have time to double check this. Here it is, Bitwarden, open source password manager. Make sure it's from the same company if that's what you want. Make sure it's the exact same one. and then download it from there. Create a free account. See, I'm not here. It says it supports Windows 11, so this might be a different version, maybe even newer version. See, there it is. Bitwarden installer 1.33, and then you can install this one. I'm not going to install it because I don't know, and then you can run it as administrator. This will ensure that it will overwrite any old files that are installed. So this is very important. A lot of times you will have software fail to install correctly, and then you think it's installed correctly, but it doesn't run. They can't update because it doesn't have elevated privileges, and you're going to have to run it as administrator. If you can't see this option to run it as admin, hold shift, right click, run as different user, and then put in admin privileges. That should fix it. It does say here that it supports Windows 11. Why it didn't say that over there, I don't know. But it does definitely seem like this is the current version, 1.33.0, which is 32-bit, supposedly. Okay, I would say, hello, please remove Bitwarden and any traces of it on your computer, folders, files, and etc. Now, when you do this, it's going to, of course, it's going to get rid of your passwords, just so you know. It's going to get rid of your passwords if you delete all of this. Unless they do it somehow where you use your account or something like that. I personally don't trust a third party to host my passwords. I don't trust anybody to host my passwords. I'll show you how I do it as the last part of this video. And then go to Google and search for so you can download the most current version. Use admin. I'm going to say install.exe as admin. I hope that helps. I'm going to close this ticket. So there are no more tickets. There are no more tickets. Do I have any? Okay, I forgot to close these. These are the ones we did from before. Nobody responded to these, so I'm just going to close them real quick. All the tickets are gone, guys. All the tickets are gone. These people that there's nothing to follow up because they haven't responded. 0 tickets in the system right now. So therefore, there's not going to be a video unless there are tickets to work. And as promised, I'm going to talk about this is what I do for my password. For example, here is my, I don't know, website password. And let's say my website password is literally gibberish, right? Let's say that's my website password. Website login. My login. Okay, I'm going to save this as. Save as. I'm going to put it on desktop for now. Doesn't matter. I'm going to say website. I'm just going to call it a website. I'm going to keep it, intentionally a little vague, but you can be specific. So I'm going to close it, right? It's closed. And here's my password inside of this document. It's website.txt. I'm not going to leave it here so that anybody who might hack, there's a small chance, very, very tiny chance that somebody's going to hack my website. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an archive and I'm going to add a password to it. And I'm going to lock it. Well, I'm not going to lock it. I'm going to add the password to it. I forget how I did this before. General. Here it is, set password. I'm sorry, here it is. I'm going to set a password to something that's really hard to remember, okay? And I'm the only one who could possibly know this. And you have to remember it. Do not Write this password somewhere. I mean, you can write it for now until you remember it, right? You can write it now so you can remember it. All right, so you can look at it a few times and remember, but then later on, get rid of that written piece of paper that you wrote it on and make sure you remember it in your mind. Nowhere else. And make sure it's super difficult and as long as possible. That means combinations of letters, icons, not icons, I'm sorry, special characters, capital letters, numbers, this and that. Okay? And now I have this website saved and I can't view it until I put the password in, right? Until I put the password in. Now here, let me make this a little bit easier. So here's my file. Now don't name your file the same as your login. You know, here it's locked. Now I can't view it, but if I put in my password, now I can see it. Okay, you can also do it where you can't open the archive at all. That's how I actually have it set up. I forget exactly how I did it, but this will get you started. And so you can't open this archive at all unless you put a password in. And then you can keep adding all of your, so you do the same thing for other stuff. For example, I don't know, I'm going to call this one Facebook. Oh, what the heck. Facebook. I forgot I had that file extensions enabled. So I'm going to say Facebook. This one is just called Facebook, and I'm just going to type in my login ID for Facebook. I'm going to call it, I don't know, my Facebook login. And then automatically I'll know that this is password, so I'm going to type in just password, whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to save it. Okay, and here it is. So I'm going to drag it into there. So now they're both in here saved and locked. So now that I'm done with these, I'm going to delete them. So because those are copies, and here it is. You can also email this entire archive to yourself as a backup. So you can send this entire backup in the mail. So you can have it backup in case your computer crashes. In case your computer crashes, you can put it on another computer, a thumb drive, create a backup of this. I hope that helps. Guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this series, and I hope to hear from you. And I'm definitely motivated, more than motivated, to create more of these. But if the interest is not there, what can I do? I'm going to move on to something else. So let me know. It's very important. And I appreciate everybody who has been supporting me throughout this adventure with help desk tickets, and people that submitted all these tickets. It would not be possible without you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. And yeah, take care. Take care. Take care and be happy. Bye-bye.